This is how we do it. Alright, so this is KG in the 5th Ward Wildcat bringing you another podcast. Once again, thank you for listening, and we're going to get started. In case you don't know, I'm KG, a road dog there at the 5th Ward Wildcat. We're going to start right off and talk about breaking news, about an hour or so old now, but the NBA sent out a press release, and I'm going to read you the title first, and then I'm going to read you the actual release. The title, NBA files unfair labor practice charge and a federal lawsuit against the Players Association. Here's the release. Today, the NBA filed 2 claims against the National Basketball Players Association, an unfair labor practice charge before the National Labor Relations Board, and a lawsuit in federal district court in New York. The unfair labor practice charge asserts that the Players Association has failed to bargain in good faith by virtue of its unlawful threats to commence a sham, in quotes, decertification, and an antitrust lawsuit challenging the NBA's lockout. The federal lawsuit seeks to establish, among other things, that the NBA's lockout does not violate federal antitrust laws, and that if the Players Association's decertification were found to be lawful, all existing player contracts would become void and unenforceable. These claims, quote, these claims were filed in an effort to eliminate the use of impermissible pressure tactics by the union, which are impeding the parties' ability to negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement, said NBA Deputy Commissioner and Chief Operating Officer Adam Silver. For the parties to reach agreement on a new CBA, the union must commit to the collective bargaining process fully and in good faith, end quote. Now, this is posted on my blog. It's the latest, most recent entry, and I wrap it up on Monday. We're going to talk about this as well. NBA Commissioner David Stern told media he does not believe the NBPA is bargaining in good faith. On May 24th, the NBPA filed an unfair labor practice with the National Labor Relations Board, claiming the NBA is not bargaining in good faith and seeking an injunction to end the lockout. Therefore, it seems both sides are rattling their proverbial swords. Perhaps both sides should put down the sabers and negotiate an agreement. Well, Wildcat, what do you think, sir?
It's all posturing on both sides.
In a nutshell, that's what it is.
I will say this. I am shocked by the amount of guys that I'm hearing, not just, second tier and third tier guys, but first tier guys in the league that are talking about, just rattling out there that they're going overseas to play ball because pickup games won't be enough for them to be involved with while all of this is going on. Because you and I both are hearing a lot of things, but the one thing we've definitely heard that's been consistent, January is probably the start date for the league. Is that still what has transpired? What's going over, not so much over the second hand, but from out of players' mouths?
Well, not being optimistic. Last couple of days, I don't think it's going to be a season. Unless the players capitulate, bow down,
I don't see that
bend over, whatever you want to call it.
I don't see this group happening.
But in the end, they're going to have to. They can claim and hold on to their gun, hold on to their beliefs and all these things they feel that they are owed and that they're due and justified in getting, etc., etc. But only a certain number, a finite number, can go earn a living overseas.
See, that's my question right there.
If those options run out and all that's left is the NBA, they're going to have to just suck it up and take what the owners give them and hope that the owners agree, make a reasonable, fair agreement.
So what has FIBA done to change the amount of Americans on per team? Because that will set the quota.
The number's still, as far as I know, still 2 per team, 2 Americans. Now, some guys, if they have dual citizenship, if they have abilities, relatives or grandparents, etc., who are born in that specific foreign country where they're trying to play, they may become a citizen that way, which does not count toward the 2 Americans per team. But FIBA in the last few days sent out a letter, press release, saying that they will allow NBA players to play overseas, give them clearance as long as they have contracts in their clauses in their contracts stating that once the lockout ends, they can go back over to the NBA and leave the current team. The problem with that is the players have to get the insurance. Well, two things. One, that the national team has to agree to let the player out of the contract to go back to the NBA once the lockout ends. And two, the players have to get insurance to cover health risk, injury risk. And that's high premiums, high cost to get the insurance for specific things like that, because basically those insurance premiums and claims will be on a month-to-month basis, and very few companies are going to offer insurance, especially for that amount, on a monthly basis.
So right now, outside of Lloyd's of London, who, excuse me, is pretty much the top leader as far as ensuring catastrophic situations that's involving high-profile, high-stress jobs. Who else is available?
I don't know who else is available. I mean, I assume that there are more than just Lloyd's of London as options for players to utilize. That's a good question. I don't know. There's so many layers involved in this thing. You know, Kobe Bryant is supposedly negotiating, contemplating playing in China because of having more marketing opportunities for him playing in China than in Turkey. The Turkey thing, I think, was just it's more of a publicity stunt by the Turkish team. Let's get this to get the name out there, because Kobe said Friday or Saturday that he hasn't spoken to them in weeks. And then yesterday, Biscetta said that they're going to talk to Kobe in a few days. And so I think they're trying to get the name out there and generate publicity for themselves. And all this stuff that the NBA is doing. Yesterday, Commissioner Stern told, well, let me back up. The NBA, David Stern, Adam Silver, their negotiating members met with Billy Hunter, the director of the Players Association, and President Derek Fisher of the union, met there for 3 hours. After the meeting, both Fisher and David Stern spoke with the media gathered, and David Stern was asked a question if he believed that the players have been negotiating in good faith. And the Godfather said that he did not believe they were negotiating in good faith at point blank. He stunned the folks with his dour look on his face and his blunt words that how he phrased it. And then today it comes out that they're filing 2 legal charges against the Players Association, basically saying that the players are not negotiating in good faith. So, and the claim that the NBA is, in order to, or calling that the Players Association request to decertify as a sham, is what the NFL owners try to do. All the NFL owners claim that the NFL Players Association decertification was a sham. So NBA owners are trying to get out in the forefront before the basketball players decertify and remove that as an option for the players. And hopefully, bottom line is, all this court drama, all this going on the National Labor Relations Board, etc., 2 sides need to get together and reach an agreement. The sooner the better. After the yesterday's meeting, they both said that they will hope to meet a few more times in August, preferably on consecutive days, more than 1 day, so 2 or 3 days back to back. So that was the only positive that David Aldridge, DA, took from yesterday's meeting.
You know the reason I'm laughing is because apparently now everybody has decided it's not good to be on vacation. Because the last time we mentioned about them speaking to each other, folks were talking about, well, I'm getting ready to go on vacation.
Oh, that's still an issue. That's one thing Derek Fisher said yesterday. And he said, well, he's going back. He had to wrap it up. The question Q&A with the reporters was he's going back home to Los Angeles to take care of things. That's why they're trying to fit everybody's schedule, then come to some dates in everybody's calendar, personal calendar, where they can all schedule 2 or 3 days and set aside and meet. And hopefully those 3 days, consecutive days, will result in positive negotiations. Right now it seems far-fetched. You know, it's clear that the owners are entrenched in their belief to personally break the union. That's all they're trying to do.
It always is. It always boils down to that. So they may not say that publicly,
right. and they won't. They won't say it publicly. But it seems to everybody involved. That's what they're trying to do. That's how we do. The first 10 minutes have been knocked out right there. Who are you, sir?
I am the 5th Ward Wildcat.
How can folks find you?
You can find me now all over the place. I am all over the web, in print. I am a part of the King Arthur production crew. The news magazine is A King Size View, which is now online, can be found at www.kingsizeview.com.
Say it again.
www.kingsizeview.com. You can find the 5th Ward Wildcat and his college sports report. There's a hotkey on the front page, and you can just hit that hotkey and the blog will come up, and you will see the videos and the information that is put out pretty much on a regular basis. And the print issue is now out in the Fiesta stores and other outlets. You can also contact us for advertising on the off the front page. There is a contact page for Mr. Prather, who is the publisher and editor of A King Size View.
And I am KG, Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. You can check out my website, www.houstonroundballreview.com. I'm on Facebook as well, Houston Roundball Review Facebook fan page. Created a Houston Roundball YouTube channel where you can listen. Once again, so you love the sound of our voices, I'm sure you do. You can listen to us on YouTube at the channel. There are a few of the 5th Ward Wildcat KG podcasts are posted on that channel, so you check that out and tell your friends. Because I think we're getting positive feedback. I think things
Google it up.
You can Google it. Both of us were surprised at the amount of search results that we got.
7 pages
in just a short amount of time. To be honest, that's a good thing. And as we always say, we look for sponsors of the show. So contact, get in touch with either one of us. We're both on Twitter. My hashtag is THEHR Review. And yours, sir,
is AKSV the CSR.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, let's see. Start off with Big 12.
Real quick, while we're talking, it ties into the Big 12. Yesterday, the Big 12 athletic directors had a meeting.
1 year.
And there we go. They talked about it. They agreed to, I'm going to read the release here, that the ADs of the Big 12 Conference unanimously agreed to establish a minimum 1-year moratorium on the broadcast of any high school content or any other content involving prospective student athletes via any medium branded as a conference or member institution platform, and no one else will be permitted thereafter unless and until the NTA determines that such use is permissible. And what is this about, sir? What is this in reference to?
This is in reference to a so-called, well, I take that back, because it will launch on August 26th, the Longhorn Network, which has been a source of contention from the day it was announced. There was a lot of questions. Pretty much every coach got asked that particular question.
And where were they asked this question?
In Dallas at the Big 12 Football Media Days. I was kind of glad that it was out in it was brought up early on in the process, because it was almost like that was a big umbrella that was hanging over the big cloud, so to speak, which is what it resulted to, and that's why the ADs had a meeting, and it was called to pretty much impromptu to discuss all of this, because coaches were concerned about an unfair recruiting process that the Longhorn Network would provide, particularly by producing, broadcasting high school sports on all levels, because that's what it was started football, and you and I both know, as the games became popular, the sports and all would resolve and roll over to basketball, track and field, baseball, soccer, volleyball, all the sports in college Division I sports.